So welcome to today's live stream. Let me straighten you up just a little. There we go. Now turn out this light because I was meaning to turn it out. Yeah, you feel so crooked to me. Okay, anyway, so I had decided to do a live stream here today to describe how I'm doing 4 days, 3 days. Bring it down just a tiny, because I'm wanting you to see more of my body. Okay, so I pretty well started doing the ray down a little more like 3 days ago. This is the 4th. On the 1st, I rayed in at 228.8. As of this morning, I weighed 224.2. So I am down 4 pounds and 6 ounces. I measured my waist, and my waist is down 1 inch and 1/4, and my hips are down a 1/2 inch. So what I'm doing is, so far, this is the 3rd day in. When I get up in the morning after I go pee, I go on ahead and I do plank push-ups. And then in a chair, I do knees raise and knee touches. And then I go for a walk. So once again this morning, that's what I done. And then I go on ahead and I continue on in to do the way down. Now, the exercise I can do whether or not I'm doing the way down. The way down can be done with or without exercise, because even the paraplegics can do the way down and lose weight. But I'm choosing to do strength training, body shaping, and cardio to build my metabolism up and get it stronger. But the ray down for me has always worked, and it's always been me that backslid, if you will, by going back to my old habits, all because maybe I'll give you an example, because right now it's like taking place. Even though I ate what I wanted at the moment, I still feel like there's something missing, even though I got full. And I'm kind of wanting something sweet or munchy or something. And I think that's what's happened before. And therefore, I screwed up with the ray down. But the ray down has always been a good success for me. So it's kind of a mind over matter than anything. In reality, I mean, yeah, my mind is kind of doing this to me, but my body is satisfied. Now, last week, I had done a 37-hour fast, and I had gone from, if I remember right, I was like 229.5, and I dropped down to 223 something. And then I found myself really going crazy over food after I'd stopped the fast. And I was planning on doing OMAD 2 days and then a fast 48 hours and just continue that way. But my body kept wanting more and more and more to eat. With the ray down, I am feeding it when it's hungry as much as it needs for fuel, and I'm satisfied. my body has finally started to settle back down. It isn't going crazy wanting more and more food. And it's even taken longer for me to get hungry in the day. So the lay down is basically just eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're satisfied. But there is a technique of doing it because, like, yeah, you can eat when you're hungry and stop when you're satisfied, but if you're snacking and drinking calories and everything, then it's really not going to do any good. You need to allow your body a chance to burn that fuel. So with the lay down, in between meals, it's better to drink water, even though the creator of the program said that you can drink non-calorie drinks or black coffee or unsweetened tea, just as long as you're not continuing to feed the body after you already ate. And to, instead of like launching straight into food when you think you're hungry, try drinking water and rehydrating and see if you're still hungry after you do that. Also, get yourself involved in something so that you don't think about food, because sometimes we start thinking about food and we find ourselves going for food. But if we've got our mind on something else, if we're busy with something else, then we are more satisfied because we're busy. I have an aunt who is in her young 70s, maybe 70-ish like, and she had 8 kids, and she kept her figure. No stomach, nice hourglass, kept her figure, and even now in her older age. And my mother had once asked her how come that she was still so slender after having 8 children. And she said she forgot to eat. But the thing is, she was constantly outside fooling with the garden or cleaning the house or whatever. I mean, she stayed busy all the time. And I would always see her drinking a mason jar full of protein shake too. But it came right down to it. She would forget to eat, and her body just wouldn't let her know it was hungry because she was so busy. And so that's another thing about doing that. Now, the creator of the Lay Down also had, she had used biblical principles for all this, and saying that by eating less, we're giving some to the Lord. So, like, basically, you go from a whole serving to a half serving or a third serving because you're actually paying attention to your body while you eat instead of overeating. So, if you've got so much to eat and you think you got to finish the very last bite, and then you find yourself overstuffed, especially like if you go to a restaurant. But if you pay attention to your body gives you signals to let you know that, hey, okay, I've had enough. And so that's when you stop. And you will find that sometimes you'll have half a plate to a third plate left over or whatever. And that's what we're doing. We're kind of like, we're allowing our body to tell us, but at the same time, we're retraining it to, it's kind of like going back to when we were babies, and when we were full, we would stop sucking the bottle. Even if there was some bottle left, we would stop because we was done. And that's what we're doing with the Lay Down. So, I am glad that I have gone back into the ray down, because now I am seeing the rate come off again. And I'm really wanting to get myself into that pattern permanently, because for me, at least I don't have to worry about gluttoning. And apparently my body really does not like going into starvation just for a few hours. But what I am also choosing to do is, when I feel the hunger, I give it just a little bit of time. And I always want to make sure that I do my exercise and read my Bible before I do eat. But like I said, it's getting further and further time for me to feel hunger again. When just a couple days ago, when I had initially started doing the ray down once more, um, almost as soon as I would open my eyes in bed, I would feel that hunger. The first day, it was very painful, almost like I was dying. And then, like yesterday, it wasn't as bad. I was able to go through my morning routine a little better, but it was still just a little bit. But this morning, I was able to go into my routine, even walked over to work because I had to buy a few things, and I didn't eat until around 12:30, or I started fixing my meal around 12:30, and I was finished by around 1 or so. So my body is already starting to settle back down, because it realizes that I'm not starving it. I'm not going to be starving it. And I'm also making sure that the food I'm feeding it is well balanced. Like today, I had a nacho bowl that had beans, chicken, cheese, sour cream, some tortilla chips. So it was balanced. I had my carbs, my protein, my fiber, you know. And so, yeah, it's just a matter of making sure that you eat balanced when you do the ray down. When I had done the ray down before in the past, I allowed myself to have sweets like a candy and a soda. And I would only allow myself like so much of a soda, but I was still giving myself that. And this time around, I'm not putting candy and soda in front of me. I have pretty well stopped drinking soda. On occasion, I might have either a Diet Zero 7 Up, or I'll have a whole sugar soda if I go out to a restaurant, but that is far in between. Uh, I am drinking my coffee, which has cream and sugar. I do not drink it black, and I will never drink it black. And I have my Greek yogurt with honey and vanilla, which I know is sugar. So I'm allowing myself that kind. But other than that, I'm not giving myself a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be causing me trouble in the long run and drive me to go back to eating that way again. I am really seriously trying to make sure to keep myself straight, because the last time that I really enjoyed chips and candy, I ended up feeling off. I mean, seriously off. My blood sugar shot up to 179. I was lethargic. I felt like I could easily pass out, and me trying to even work, being at my job, and the best thing that I could do was just stand at the register and barely do that. I mean, it was horrible. But with me eating well balanced, and even with the ray down, which is allowing my body to use up the fuel that I give it, I am doing better. I'm sleeping more solid, and I'm getting up at a decent time in the morning. No matter what time I go to bed, I still get up at a decent time in the morning, and I feel so much better. And I know that it's only going to get better because out of the experience of doing the Ray Down before, I felt good. So doing it this way, with the lack of the candy and the soda, I know I'm going to feel even better. So I trust this program. I trust it. And like intermittent fasting, you could do any time frame with any kind of eating window. And basically, the Ray Down is like intermittent fasting, only instead of giving yourself a specific time to eat, you're allowing your body to tell you when it needs to eat. And before on the Ray Down, I would go anywhere from 15 hours to 18 hours total fast. And the one thing that I'm also not doing now, I'm making myself, like when I work the night shift, I am making myself go on ahead to bed when I get home instead of staying up watching a couple YouTube videos and eating again. So I am stopping that too, and I know that's making a big difference as well. So all in all, this is what I really should have been doing to begin with instead of playing around with my system. And like before, I guess I was doing the Ray Down last year, but I wasn't really recognizing it as the Ray Down. But I was only eating when I was hungry, except when I did start my job, which was in July. Then I had to figure out what I was going to eat before work so that I wouldn't be hungry. And as it happened, because by that time where I was eating real balanced, I would have like my egg and sausage in the morning and I was plenty satisfied. And I didn't know what in the world to eat before I went to work. And so sometimes I only had myself a ham sandwich and I was satisfied for the rest of the evening because at that time I was only working 4 hours in the night. But it was doing good for me because I'd already gotten myself into a better condition with my eating. I wasn't into the junk food. I wasn't into the soda. I was really focusing on having balanced meals. And what screwed me up there was me getting a paycheck and seeing all the stuff in the store. Well, I am getting better about that, even though sometimes like a customer will come through with something and I'll go, man, that would taste pretty good. But I am getting better at it where I just, nah, I don't need it. I don't need it. So it's still a mental battle. It is. And I'll admit that. I'm not saying that I have suddenly arrived and everything is A-OK, perfect. No. But what I'm saying is, it truly is a mind over matter. And if I want this bad enough and me making the effort to make these changes, then I am going to have to stay mentally focused and fight it so that I don't end up losing the battle again. My body once again is accepting this and I want to run with it. I don't want to give it reason to backfire. Now, I understand right now a lot of this can be water, and that's fine because I was swelled in my ankles and legs, and it was very uncomfortable. So every bit of fluid that's gone is perfect. And after that, we will see about the fat being gone. But for the moment, yeah, I'm happy either way. It's got to go. So I'm just going to be sticking with the Ray Down, with eating balanced meals when my body is needing it, and seeing just how much I need to eat, so on and so forth, and keep up with the exercises in the morning. And I look forward to seeing what each day brings, whether it's a little bit of a weight gain or a weight loss. And that's another thing. That is one other thing that is crazy to me. And it is so pleasing because, okay, so I'm going to backtrack back to 2018. I make a really good chili. It's a beef and 3-bean chili. Very satisfying and everything. Good flavor. And in the past, when I was doing the weigh down, when I would have a bowl of chili, which had uh, shredded cheese, corn chips, and sour cream. That's how I would top it after I'd get myself a hot bowl. And I would find myself with a gained weight the next day. So I was kind of afraid to get myself a bowl this time because I had made a pot of chili a few days ago and I was afraid to eat it. But I fixed myself a bowl yesterday with those toppings. And first off, I stopped when I was satisfied and there was still some left. That's one. And two, like yesterday, I weighed 225.8, and then, of course, this morning, 224.2. So that makes me feel better that as long as I'm paying attention to my body and I stop when I'm satisfied and I don't need to finish it all, that I will lose the weight. And I don't have to be concerned about that. I mean, I was really, really concerned about eating my chili, afraid that I would end up gaining a pound or two again from eating it. So I am very happy to see that I had gone down another pound and 6 ounces from yesterday, even after having my chili. And then before work yesterday, I turned around and had 2 chicken thigh and 2 thin piece of steak. I think their eye of round, they're sliced real thin. And that's what I had before I went to work. At work, I bought myself a can of coffee. And still, I had lost a pound and 6 ounces. But I was listening to my body, and I wasn't doing anything to cause it to hold on to that. And that's what is the most important thing, is that we allow our body to see that we're not going to starve it, that we want to fuel it, and that it can freely let go of what it's held on to. But we got to time it right and wait for it to tell us when it needs more fuel. And if at all possible, to kind of get into some kind of activity that will cause us to burn a little bit more fat in between those meals, which might actually would cause us to not be hungry even a little longer. Maybe. I'm not a scientist about this. That is a total guess on my part. But maybe. So, yeah. If any of you are looking to lose weight and you would like to do this with me, go on ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know if you want to do this as well, and I'll be happy to encourage you, to remind you to only eat when you need to, and remind you to just drink water or whatever in between meals and stuff, and just be there to hold your hand as you go through it. You might find that you really like doing the weigh down, and the best part about the weigh down is you can do paleo, you can do Mediterranean, you can do keto. I mean, what if you're into specific diets? You can do any one of those diets. Vegetarian, vegan, it doesn't matter. Carnivore, it doesn't matter. The Ray Down is versatile. You can do any type of diet plan you want with the Ray Down. So, for me, it's just balanced food, making sure I've got my proteins, the right amount of carbs, the right amount of fats. That's all. That's it. Nice and simple. And that's how I really prefer to do it. So, yeah, if you're wanting to lose weight, if you need to lose weight, and it doesn't matter if you're obese or if you're just a little overweight, say that your real weight's 125, but you're like 135 or 140. Yeah, just saying. You can still do the Ray Down. It isn't just for obese or morbid obese or anything like that. It's for anybody who wants to have control. Now, what caused the creator of the Ray Down to even start this plan to begin with was when she was in college, she took dietetics. She was training in dietary and nutrition. And one of the things that she had decided to do was to go around her dorm friend. The friend lived in the next dorm, and so she asked if she could take notes and follow her around because she's a real skinny person. And yeah, sure. So she went and took notes and everything. They ate at McDonald's, and at this time, the creator, the writer of the plan, had a quarter pounder, a large fry, a large soda, I think she said even a milkshake. And her dorm mate or friend from the other dorm just had a quarter pounder. Well, the creator finished everything and was nursing on her soda, and she noticed that the neighbor started to wrap up the rest of her sandwich. And so she outright asked her, "What's going on in your mind? Why are you wrapping that up?" Because she wanted the rest of her sandwich. And she just said that she didn't want any more. She was satisfied. So she continued to take notes on this woman. And she said that sometimes on some meals she would eat a whole lot, other times she would eat just a little bit, and sometimes she wouldn't eat at all. But she was just simply eating when she was hungry and then stopping when she was satisfied. And so she picked up on this and she started mimicking what that other dorm occupant was doing. And she discovered that her overweight, because she had a little bit of a stomach on her, but like she said, she still had really thin legs, but it was her belly that was giving trouble. But she found that she lost the weight in her stomach by mimicking this other woman. And that's how she came down with the Ray Down, because she had tried all kinds. She had tried doing the exchange and even doing the ones in the back of the textbooks that said that really wasn't as effective, which included the kinetic diet. Even though I know a lot of people swears by doing keto, I guess according to the textbook back in her time, keto wasn't effective. But I'm not going to say anything to any of you who likes to do keto. If that's your game, then do it. But yeah, she tried every different solitary plan, and it would always backfire on her. But when she had started mimicking that skinny eater, that's when she lost it and was able to keep it off. And even she ended up dying in a plane crash back in like 2020, 2021. She had started the Ray Down plan back in the 70s, and she had kept the weight off all these years. by just sticking to the way down. There was many other people who had done the plan as well, and they had their before and after photos where they were really big and finally looked healthy. So it truly is a mind over matter, and it's also the desire to lose the weight and doing it right so that you are feeding your body what it needs at the moment when it's hungry is the key. And it does work. It works for me. When I had done the Ray Down back in 2018, and later it ended up going into OMAD because I had fed myself so well that it was satisfied to the point of just needing to eat once a day. I went from like 217 down to 171. What messed me up was I was thinking, okay, I can do this and eat all the candy I want. And sure enough, by eating all the candy I wanted, it started backfiring and I found myself wanting more and more and more candy. And there went the Ray Down and OMAD out the window, along with all the weight loss. So this time I'm doing it different and I'm doing it more right. I'm doing it according to what my body really does need and how I feel so much better. Because I do. When I eat balanced, I feel so much better. So, yeah, if you all would love to do the Ray Down with me, even, no matter what kind of plan you want to go into, go on ahead and do it. Whatever type of food you want to do, clean eating or whatever, the Ray Down will work with it. Just go on ahead and leave a comment down below, and I am more than happy to be there for you. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching and joining me on this. And I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Every one of you are very special to me. And I will be seeing you tomorrow with another video, not a live stream, just a video to let you know how much I weigh and all. And once again, thank you. So, see here. Yes, I have got, let's see. Hello, Kentucky girl. Yes, I am. Thank you. Yes, it has been. I seem to get my older friends when I add YouTube to this. So whenever I do my live stream, I think I am going to be adding YouTube. That way I can get some of you to join in. Because so far, just on Rumble, I don't have any friends like I did. But I am so glad that you have joined. It's great to see you, Kentucky girl. So yeah, any of you, I don't care if you want to join me with this or not. I just very greatly appreciate you all watching and joining in. So the reason why I was standing right back here was so that you could literally see how I'm looking, which, you know, there isn't too much of a change here. My stomach, like I said, I lost about an inch, but that's about it. So there, you really can't see no difference at this moment. But I am looking at, as I continue to do this, that you will be able to watch me shrink. And it will be like good old time back in 2018 and 19 when I was doing a recording every day and everybody got to see me lose the weight real time, so to speak. You know? And so, yeah, that's what I'm looking for it to happen to be again. And so, yes, I am so grateful to all of you. Thank you very much. And as I said, I will be seeing you tomorrow with another video and how I'm doing. And yes, have a good day.